Aha. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope you are doing well. And today I want us to introduce ourselves to successive transformation. Successive transformation. Successive transformation. Successive transformation. I want you to confirm you are in. Okay. You've already confirmed you are in class, so we can proceed. So we need to learn something on successive transformation. And when we are talking of successive transformation, what we are trying to say is that, if I may use this as an example, that an object, or let's say a triangle, let us say a triangle ABC. A triangle ABC is transformed into A prime, B prime, C prime under transformation T, followed by transformation Q, followed by transformation Q, to form A prime, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So when you are given that, I want to explain a little bit about successive transformation, what it means. What successive transformation means is that we have our triangle ABC. Our triangle ABC, the first transformation is transformation T, which forms A prime, B prime, C prime, followed by transformation Q, which forms A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So when we talk of successive transformation, what we mean is that the first transformation forms the first image, then the first image is the object of the second image. So whatever you get as your first image becomes your object for the second image, and using transformation 2, you will be able to determine the second image. That is simply what successive transformation means. So you use the first transformation to get the image of the object. Then for you to get the second image, the image of the first object is now the object of the second image. So this now becomes the object, which undergoes transformation Q, so that it forms A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. Why am I emphasizing that? The reason I'm emphasizing that is because triangle ABC, the first transformation is T followed by Q. So how do we read this? We read it from right towards the left. We don't read it from left towards the right. We read it from right towards left. So it is the first transformation followed by the second transformation. The first transformation followed by the second transformation. That is what it simply means. So we will have some examples. We have some examples. The first example that we will be having is yes, we have a question here. So, two transformations are defined by P is equals to 0, -1, 1, 0, and Q by 0, 1, 1, 0. Show on the diagram the images of triangle ABC with vertices A -3, 2, B -3, -1, and C -1, -1 under the combined transformation PQ and QP. PQ and QP. Write down that question very fast so that we can respond to it. Write down the question quickly. Have you written down the question? I want us to respond to that question. So, number one, start by plotting that triangle ABC on a Cartesian plane. Plot it on Cartesian plane. Plot the graph on the Cartesian plane. Plot the triangle -3, 2, B -3, -1, and C -1, -1 on a Cartesian plane. That is where you are going to start. start by plotting it on a Cartesian plane. So plot, you will start number 1 with plot triangle ABC on a Cartesian plane. On a Cartesian plane. Plot it on a Cartesian plane. Plot ABC on a Cartesian plane. Then we will start with Roman 1 PQ. Transformation PQ. Remember it is A, B, C and D. No. Triangle ABC is what is being transformed. Triangle ABC. That is the first one that we are transforming. Once you plot it on a Cartesian plane, tell me, inform me that you are done. If you are done, let's solve it. Sawa, good. So we will start with PQ, with the first transformation being Q. The first transformation being Q. So we are transforming triangle ABC with this first transformation being Q. So Q is 0, 1, 1, 0, followed by the second transformation R, not RP, which is 0, negative 1, 1, 0. So that is how it is like. And remember, our ABC is equivalent to negative 3, 2, negative 3, negative 1, and negative 1, negative 1. So what we are going to do in this case, we will get two images. We will first get the first image. Hii ya kwanza itatupatia A prime, B prime, C prime. Nayo hii ya pili itatupatia A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. Kwa hivyo tutaanza na ya kwanza. Remember, matrix times object is equivalent to image. So what we are going to do now, we will take the first matrix 0 1 1 0 multiplied by negative 3 2, negative 3 negative 1, negative 1 negative 1. That is A, B and C, and that will give us A prime, B prime, C prime. Remember how we were determining the image. Tulikuwa tunachukua the first row multiplied by the first column. So inakuwa 0 times negative 3 is 0 plus 1 times 2 is 2. So the first one will be 2. After we get that one, tunaenda ya chini. The second row and the first column tunamalizana na A. So itakuwa 1 times negative 3 is negative 3 plus 0 times 2 is 0. So itakuwa negative 3. So that will be negative 3. Tunaenda ya pili. So tunaanza na hii ya kwanza. 0 times negative 3 is 0 plus 1. 0 times negative 3 is 0. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So plus minus 1, it will be equal to minus 1. So that will give us negative 1. Then the second one is going to be hii ya chini na hii bado. So 1 times negative 3 is negative 3 plus 0 times negative 1 is 0. So negative 3 plus 0 will be equal to negative 3. Tumemalizana na hiyo. So tuende ya mwisho. Ya mwisho 0 times negative 1 is negative 1. 0 times negative 1, sorry, is 0 plus 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So 0 plus minus 1 is minus 1. So that will give us negative 1. The next one is 0. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 plus 0 times negative 1 is 0. So negative 1 plus 0 will be equal to negative 1. Will be equal to negative 1. Therefore, our first image A prime will be 2 negative 3, B prime negative 1 negative 3, and C prime negative 1 negative 1. So after getting the first image, now draw that on your Cartesian plane. After you are done drawing it on your Cartesian plane, you can now tell me when you are done, so that we can now go to the second one. So when we talk of successive transformation, we mean the first transformation gives us the first image. Then this first image becomes the object that we will use for the second transformation to give us the second image. And it is not a must they be 2, they can be even 3. So whatever we will get here is the second image. If there is in case another third image, this will be the object of the third image. Tunaituchukua na transformation yake, tunapata the third image. So first draw that on your Cartesian plane. Tell me when you are done so that we can continue checking out, proceeding, learning. Okay, let's continue. So after we are done with that, the reason we said it is called successive transformation is because we were doing our first transformation was PQ. So we are done with P. So what we are now going to do, we now take the image A prime, B prime, C prime, and we have 2, -3, B -1, -3, C -1, -1, and we will multiply it with the second transformation P, which should be 0, -1, 1, 0. And once we do that, we should get A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So that is what we are supposed to determine. So what we are now going to do is that, just as normal, as we have worked out the coordinates of the first image, is how we are going to work out the coordinates of the second image. So we said that we take the first row and the first column. So 0 times 2 is 0, plus -1 times -3 is 3. So 0 plus 3 is 3. Then we take the second row and the first column. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 0 times -3 is 0. So 2 plus 0 is 2. Then we proceed to the next one. Zero, the first row and the second column. 0 times -1 is 0, plus -1 times -3 is 3. So that will still give us a 3. Then this one and this one. 1 times -1 is -1, plus 0 times -3 is 0. So it will be -1. So that will be -1. Then this one and this one. 0 times -1 is 0, plus -1 times -1 is 1. So negative times negative is positive, so that will be equal to 1. So that will definitely give us 1. Then the second one, it is this one and this one. 1 times -1 is -1, plus 0 times -1 is 0. That will give us -1. So that will be -1. Therefore, our second image will be A double prime is equal to 3, 2. B double prime will be equal to 3, -1. And C double prime will be equal to 1, -1. So those are the coordinates of the second image. Plot it on your Cartesian plane. Plot it on your Cartesian plane. Plot it on your Cartesian plane. Remember, we were solving on PQ, ABC. PQ, ABC. PQ, ABC. So plot it on a Cartesian plane. Roman 2, we'll be solving on QP, ABC. QP, so it is transformation P followed by Q. P followed by Q. P followed by Q. So this is the second one that we'll be doing. So once you are done plotting this one, I want us to do this together. I want us to do this one together. And once we do this one together, I believe that we are going to be in a better position to now handle more and more questions on successive transformation. So first finish this one, then we do this one. After you are done plotting this one, tell me so that you can proceed. Oh, correct. That's good. So let us solve the second one. So we are now solving QP. So QP simply means we will be starting with P then Q. So that will be 0 1 1 0. Then this one P 0 negative 1 1 0. Then A B C, which is equal to negative 3 to negative 3 negative 1 and negative 1 negative 1. That is what we are dealing with. The first transformation is P followed by Q followed by Q. So we will start with the first one. 0 negative 1 1 0 multiplied by A B C negative 3 2 negative 3 negative 1 negative 1 negative 1 should be equal to A prime B prime C prime. Do we do this one together or you can do it? Do we find A prime B prime C prime together or you can be able to solve it? Zuleka, can you be able to solve it? Can you be able to solve it? Okay. So we said for us to get the image, we take the first row and the first column. So 0 times negative 3 is 0 plus negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So 0 plus minus 2 is negative 2. So that is negative 2. Then the second one, the second row and the first column, ili tumalizane na A prime. So itakuwa 1 times negative 3 is negative 3 plus 0 times 2 is 0. So negative 3 plus 0 it is equal to negative 3. So hiyo itakuwa negative 3. Tukimaliza hiyo tunaenda ya pili. Ya pili tunaanza na first row na hii. So 0 times negative 3 ni 0 plus negative 1 times negative 1 ni plus, itakuwa 1. So itakuwa ni 0 plus 1 which is equal to 1. 1. Then hii ya pili na hii. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3 plus 0 times negative 1 is 0. So that will be equal to negative 3. Negative 3. Tuende ya mwisho. Ya mwisho itakuwa 0 times negative 1 is 0 plus negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Hiyo itatupatia 1. Ya pili ni hii na hii. So 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 plus 0 times negative 1 is 0. So negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. So that will be equal to negative 1. So the coordinates of our image, first image will be negative 2, 3, negative 2, negative 3, 1, negative 3, and 1, negative 1. So having that, you can draw that on your Cartesian plane. Once you draw that on a Cartesian plane, inform me so that we can proceed. Okay. Unaweza fanya ya pili. Unaweza fanya hiyo ya pili. Unaweza fanya hiyo ya pili. Aya, good. Ifanye unipatie jibu. Correct. Correct. So plot it on a Cartesian plane. Plot that second image on the Cartesian plane. Plot the second image on the Cartesian plane. Once you are done, tell me. Okay, that's good. So have you noted the difference between the two transformations? Have you noted the difference between the two transformations? The first one was PQ and the other one is QP. Have you seen the difference between the two? The two successive transformations? Okay. That is okay. That's good. So there's a question that is here. I want you to do it. I write it for you. I want you to respond to this question. So the question reads, question 1, OABC is a parallelogram. OABC is a parallelogram with vertices zero zero, vertices O 0 0, A 2 0, B 3 2, and C 1 2. Full stop. O prime, A prime, B prime, C prime is the image of OABC under transformation matrix I think we did this question, but we did it from the ground of finding the image. But right now I want us to do it from the ground of successive transformation. So the first question, find the coordinates of O prime, A prime, B prime, C prime. 2 marks. Number 2 is on the grid, draw O prime, A prime, B prime, C prime. 2 marks. Part B, Roman 1, find O double prime, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, the image of O prime, A prime, B prime, C prime under the transformation matrix (1 0 0 -2). Two marks. Then Roman 2, on the same grid, comma, draw O double prime, A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. 1 mark. So fanya hiyo mbio mbio. Do that quickly. Aya, do that question. For A Roman 1, send your coordinates. Just give me the coordinates now. I cannot access the WhatsApp now to see the diagram, but keep on sending the photos. I'll check them out. I forgot to share my WhatsApp. on the machine so that I can access my WhatsApp from the desktop. I can't for now. Just send your coordinates. Provided your coordinates are right, your diagrams are right. I'll check out the question, the diagrams later, but just send the coordinates for A Roman 1 and B Roman 1 so that I'll know you are correct. Kindly. Share your coordinates. There is the last part of that question that we will be doing. Find the single matrix. This is part C. Find the single matrix that maps O double prime, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime onto O A B C. Onto O A B C. Zero zero -4 0 -6 -4 -2 -4. Correct. That is 1A. A Roman 1, correct. So we are told to find the single matrix that maps this onto that. What we are going to do is that we need to know that we had the object that gave us the first image and which ended up giving us the second image. And the first matrix yenye ilitupatia ya kwanza ilikuwa nini? Ilikuwa -2 0 0 -2. Na yenye imetupatia hii ya pili ilikuwa 1 0 0 -2. So zimejipanga hivyo. Tukitaka kupata matrix yenye itatupatia directly from O A B C to O double prime A double prime B double prime C double prime, tutamultiply hizi mbili, tutamultiply hizo mbili, but unaona ni O A B C onto O prime double prime A double prime B double prime C double prime. Tutamultiply hizi mbili, na tukimultiply hizi mbili zitakuwa 1 times -2 is -2 plus 0 is -2. So ni hiyo na hiyo. Alafu tuende ya chini. 0 times -2 is 0 plus -2 plus 0 is 0. So that one will give us a 0. Tuende ile ya mwisho. 1 times 0 is 0 plus 0 times 2 is 0. So that will give us a 0. Alafu kuja hii ya chini 0 times negative, so ni hii na hii. 0 times 0 is 0 plus -2 times -2 is 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. So this will be the single matrix. This is the single matrix that maps O A B C onto O double prime A double prime B double prime C double prime. This is the matrix that maps -2 0 0 4. It is the matrix that maps this one onto this one. Lakini tunataka ambayo ina map the opposite. This one to this one, this one to this one, opposite. So what we are going to do, we are going to find the inverse. We are going to find the inverse of the matrix. We will find the inverse of the matrix. So tutatafuta inverse of a transformation. Juu tunataka opposite. So tuchukue, tunataka inverse ya -2 0 0 4. There are two ways za kutafuta inverse. In this case, unaweza tafuta inverse based on what you did in form 3. ya pili 0 0, negative 4 0, negative 6 8, negative 2 8. Correct. B Roman 1 correct. So I know your diagrams are correct. Ziko tu sawa. So what we are now going to do is I want us to find the inverse. So hapa una prefer tutumie method gani? Kuna ile method ya form 3 ya kutafuta determinant alafu tutafute inverse. So kuna method mbili. We first find the determinant, then we find the inverse. That was in form 3. Na kuna alternative, kuna ya form 4 ambayo tunasemanga inverse multiplied by the matrix itself is equal to identity. Identity matrix is 1 0 0 1. So una prefer tutumie gani? Niambie una prefer tutumie gani? Tutumie hii ya form 4 ama tutumie ya form 3? Zote mbili zimekubalika kutafuta inverse. Wewe tu ni uamue unataka gani. Niambie unataka tufanye na gani? Amu niambie unataka tufanye na gani? Sawa sawa. Tufanye na hiyo ya form 4. So hatuna hii matrix. So tukisema tuende na ya form 4, tutasema tuseme hii matrix yetu tuite T. So tukisema tuende na ya form 4 tutasema T inverse times T should give us identity. Na identity matrix tulisema ni 1 0 0 1. 1 0 0 1. Kwa hivyo hatuna T inverse. T inverse itakuwa A B C D times T ni hii negative 2 0. Is this 1 0 or 4? Or it's a 0? It's a 0. Umeona it's a 0. Then 4 is equal to 1 0 0 1. So tutafute hii inverse. So hii inverse tutaipata aje? Wenye tumesema tunachukua hii tuna multiply na hii. So a times negative 2 is negative 2a plus b times 0 is 0. Inaisha. Tunaenda ya chini. Ni hii na hii. C times negative 2 is negative 2c. Tukienda ya chini d times 0 ni 0. Inaisha. So tunaondoka hapa tunaenda hapa. A times 0 is 0 plus 4 times b is 4b. Then tunaenda ya pili. C times, so ni hii na hii. C times 0 is 0 plus 4 times d is 4d is equals to 1 0 0 1. Tunapata hivyo. Tukipata hivyo, so hapa this is where we now apply a concept we call equal matrices. Equal matrices. And when we talk of equal matrices, we mean zinatoshana. This one, their corresponding values are equal. Corresponding values are equal. Corresponding values are equal. So when we talk of corresponding values being equal, it means minus 2a is equal to 1. So tunaweza pata a ni nini? We divide both sides by negative 2. Tupata a ni negative 1 over 2. 4b is equal to 0. So b yetu ni 0. Tunaenda c. Minus 2c equals to 0. Kwa hivyo hata c yetu hapo ni 0. Alafu tunaenda d. 4d is equals to 1. We divide by 4 by 4. We get our d is 1 over 4. Therefore, our inverse will be remember our t inverse itakuwa, what is our a? Negative a half. Our b is a 0. Our c is a 0. Our d is a quarter. So that is will be the single matrix of transformation that maps O double prime, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime onto A, O, A, B, C. That will be the single matrix that maps the second image onto the object. It is the inverse of a transformation. We call it the inverse of a transformation. The inverse of a transformation. The inverse of a transformation. Inverse of a transformation. So that is how we approach those questions. Let me share out some questions with you to do. I will share some questions with you. So I will close this meeting so that I can share some work with you and guide you more on that.